I also want to know whether it's true that by Idaho law, police and prosecutors are precluded from releasing any details of the case. So joining me now is former Idaho Attorney General Dave Leroy. He's also a former prosecutor, currently a defense attorney. Dave, thanks very much for coming on the show. Appreciate it. So did they fairly characterize that they literally cannot, by law, give any more details of the arrest or the case?
No, that's not quite right. There is no such statute or law in Idaho, but we do have a rule of ethical conduct for lawyers, which applies to any lawyer who's been involved in an investigation. And that simply says that no such lawyer can give any extrajudicial statement that's likely to be picked up by publicity that would substantially or materially have the potential to compromise a fair trial. So in that regard, the attorney is bound, but there's no such law that precludes the police or other discussion of evidence outside the court.
So from your perspective, the police could legally and ethically provide more details of information, by the way, that will eventually be made public anyway.
Well, we do recognize that we have the obligation to go very carefully and very slowly to give this man a fair trial where he's presumed innocent and we're looking for a fair and impartial jury. But there is some potential that other evidence could be released or discussed outside the obligation of the prosecutor not to do so with extrajudicial statements.
How do you think that they managed to match the DNA? And do you suspect that when he was pulled over a couple times, that at that point they already knew that he was a suspect? Because the information that we're getting is sort of conflicting. Some people saying they didn't know he was a suspect until after Christmas, which would suggest that maybe the two pullovers were just random.
I don't have any information about the Indiana stop, but it does seem likely to me if they were surveilling him by FBI and local police in Pennsylvania for 4 days, that they were able to find a discarded coffee cup or something like that, which often is the case in cold cases turned hot.
And that would be a very good reason, right, to explain why it took them 4 days, is they want to get some of that DNA, because maybe even with the DNA at the crime scene, even with a potential match on a genetic genealogy, it's not the same as having another source to match it to.
Sure, and other things are coming together as well. We're hearing by reports there's a likelihood that his cell phone pings were close to or following the cell phone pings of some of the victims in days earlier as well. So all of that coming together in a very compelling probable cause affidavit or extradition affidavit likely was used in the 4 days as well.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your cable provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.